I forgot to put my glasses on, so everything might be a bit weird. Welcome back to the Corner of Craft podcast. It's been a little bit of a break, isn't it? I mean, I know I said I was going on a break, but I wasn't meant to be taking a break from the podcast. And then I just ended up taking a 2-month break from the podcast, so my bad. Hi everyone. My name is Hannah, like I've already said. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Links can all be found in the description box below, along with the link to the Ravelry group, where I will be posting show notes about the things that I'm sharing with you. And hi. This is a knitting and crochet, there's actually crochet, podcast. I'm Hannah. I've said that 3 times now. I'm the owner of the Corner of Craft, which is my small online business, in which I make hand beaded stitch markers, and I also dye yarn under the name of Chromatic Yarns, and all of the yarn is Dungeons and Dragons themed, so that's pretty exciting. My hair is damp because I'm disorganised. There might be quite a few cuts because there's building work happening in the house next door, which we are attached to. And yeah, I forgot my glasses, so I feel like I look a bit weird. I've got a few finished objects. A couple of them have been gifted, so I can't share them. One of them I filmed a little snippet for, one of them I'm wearing. But yeah, I've kind of forgotten how to podcast. The tea I'm drinking today, I made it before I put my makeup on, so I bet it's already cold. No, but it will be by the time the podcast is over. The tea I am drinking today is a Bird and Blend tea company. It is peach cobbler. They brought back a ton of peach teas for like the ultimate peach contest, and peach cobbler is one of my faves, so I was ecstatic to see that they brought it back. Mario and I made peach cobbler ice cream. It was really good. Yeah, this is a tea that they sent to me, and if you use the code HannahTeabird20 you can get 20% off your tea and matcha, and it's an affiliate code the first time you use it, so I get a little bit thrown back my way. But I was a huge fan of them even before they started to pay me, so if you've been around a while you'd already know that. But peach cobbler, really nice tea, even if I think I've made it a bit strong today. Yeah, a lot has happened since I last spoke to you. The global pandemic has worsened. Way more people have died because of the global pandemic. There's a huge uprising happening, a civil rights movement happening throughout the world, which is amazing. And yeah, if you've been following me on Instagram, you would know that the current protests and such happening not only in the States but throughout the world. Yeah, I've been very much for them and vocally speaking about them. If you would like, I have on Instagram, oh, this is a hard thing to talk about. On Instagram I do have a highlight in which you can go and check out not only the posts that I've shared if you want to educate yourself further, but also charities you can donate to, and blah blah blah. Because yeah, I've been there, diddle-loop, donate, diddle-loop, petition, diddle-loop, share this post, diddle-loop, educating myself. You know, you got to do what you can. I didn't feel safe enough to go out and protest. There was a protest in Nottingham. I did not feel safe enough to go out and protest because the pandemic here in the UK is still rife. Stuff is opening back up, but there's still a lot of people dying every day because of coronavirus, so I personally didn't feel comfortable enough to go and protest in person, so I did my little bit at home. But yeah, if you are protesting, please stay safe and wear a mask, wash your hands, try and socially distance, and yeah, keep going, you're doing amazing. Hopefully this won't be too annoying, the building works happening next door. I'm going to be very distracted by them the whole time, but I put this off for so long because of building works. It's driving me up the wall, so yes. So shall we talk about finished objects? Shall we? Shall we? Maybe, just a little bit. let's talk about the first one that I'm wearing. Oh yeah, this is my Hufflepuff Pride jumper, and just to make it very clear, I don't agree with JK Rowling's views that she's spewing all over Twitter like some kind of entitled moron, but I'm still Hufflepuff. This is a jumper that I test knit for Meg of Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. It is now released, it's now out. You can knit in DK or 4-ply / finger weight / sock weight, whatever. They're all the same. DK isn't, that's its own, but then yeah, and you can, there are a multitude of houses. 4 is the number. I chose Hufflepuff, but there are various other charts, so you can make it up as you go. I'm wearing mine with dungarees today. I'm going to stand up, but try not to flash too much. The quarantine 15 is real, and it's a bit more than 15. But forgive me. It's fine, you don't care. But yeah, so we've got, let's get my dungarees down. So we've got badges, and we got stars and paw prints and flying keys. I went with 3/4 length sleeves because I'm lazy. Also, I finished this in May, so I thought it might warm up, but it's currently grey and raining and quite gross, so I'm feeling quite autumnal and a bit snuggly, so I went with the jumper and dungarees, which are long leg dungarees. Oh, do you like my sushi socks? Yeah, long leg dungarees. So yeah, because it's just not warm today. We've had so much rain and so many thunderstorms, but yes, I knit the DK version. It is knit out of my sturdy DK base, which is 100% superwash BFL. Nice and hard wearing. I've worn this a fair few times actually. I followed the pattern exactly, apart from I used a larger needle to cast on the neckband. Meg must have a small head, and I don't have a small head, I have a big head. So I had to use a larger needle to cast on the neck, cast on the jumper, because it's a yoked jumper, all in one, top down. But yeah, I had to use a larger needle to cast on the neck because I have a big head. And it's still a bit snug over the head, like I have to put it on and then put my makeup on. I can't really take it off with makeup on, otherwise get makeup on here, which I probably already have. But I understand why it's a tight neck, because it's the style, it looks really cool. I really like it, I like the fit. I like wearing it with, I did it cropped. I like wearing it with dungarees because it's fun. And yeah, that was my first thing I finished. The next thing I finished, you may notice that my little unicorn here has a friend. So I decided to cast on and knit another unicorn. I didn't stuff it as much, so it doesn't look as cute. And that's 100% my bad. But I used the yarn I had left over from my garden gate sweater and knit this little guy. So this is a Nilla the unicorn. I can't remember who the pattern's by. I'm not organised. Link will be in the show notes to the pattern. But yeah, super cute. I used 2.5mm needle and 4-ply yarn. I used, I think they're 8mm safety eyes that I got on Etsy. I moved the tail up a bit further than the last one, and I think it's worked out much better. And yeah, it's pretty much the same as this one, but this one is way cuter because it's got way more stuffing in, and this one's got way less stuffing in. So, you know, but they're still both cute in their own right. But this one, I don't know, it's just extra cute. I may have also put more of a mane on that one than this one. It could have also had a factor in. But yeah, I knit another unicorn because I couldn't resist. And yeah, I just used up a load of leftover scraps that I had in my stash. Some, I think they're all, maybe they're mainly chromatic yarns. So I used some of the silver. I used a light blue that I've dyed ages and ages ago. I used some blue slad that I dyed and used on my hoodie shawl cardigan. And yeah, it's just He doesn't sit up as well because he has less of a booty, but they're still very cute and keep me company. The next thing that I finished, I mean this isn't in order, but was the blanket that I knit, the baby blanket that I knit using King Cole Cherish in the shade Nickel that I got from Knit Nottingham, and it is the Wishing and Hoping blanket. I worked on that for I think 2 months. I have filmed a little snippet that I will insert in of me showing it off, because I can't work on something for 2 months and then not show it off, because that would be so sad. While Mario was off, we watched all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, because he was off for 3 weeks, so we got through them, and that blanket kept me company. Mario kept me company, but you know what I mean. That blanket kept me entertained through all of those films. I mean, in all fairness, the films were also entertaining. You know what I'm saying? They were that was my TV knitting. But I finished it and I've gifted it, and yeah, the baby has been born 3 weeks early, which is crazy. I'm really glad I managed to finish it when I did. But yeah, the baby was born, I don't know, yesterday, today, last night. I've just been sent a picture. I don't know any details, but I'm freaking out, super excited. But yes, blanket. Okay, so sorry if the camera angles changed, the lighting's changed, my makeup's definitely different, and I'm definitely wearing different clothes because I'm filming this in the past, but I'm going to be gifting this today, so I wanted to film this bit, I suppose, as a commemorative. This is what I knit, before all of you saying, what about that blanket? Because it's taken over my life. But yeah, it's all finished. So this is the Wishing and Hoping blanket by Louise Tilbrook. It's a definite FO. I knit this out of King Cole Cherish in the colour Nickel. It's going to be gifted to a couple of my friends who are expecting. Babies are due very soon, so blanket's being gifted today. But it's these really cool cables and twisted rib, and yeah, I knit it a bit smaller than it called for, only a tiny piece, but then when I blocked it, it turned out to pretty much be square, which is pretty cool. It was hell to block, I won't lie to you. It took over my life because I knew that there was a deadline on it, and so I had to knit it. It meant that I couldn't knit what I wanted to knit, like my telegram cardigan, because, oh, that was a German R, not a French one, because I needed to finish this, but it's now finished, so I still need to trim the ends off and wrap it up. But yes, I'm really glad I knit it. I feel really proud of myself, but I probably won't be knitting another blanket that soon, even for my own children. Definitely stick with the crochet blanket. I feel like that might be more manageable, but yes, I finished it. That's it, that's all I have to share. So yes, that was the Wishing and Hoping blanket by Louise Tilbrook. Really fun knit. It's many stitches across, but really easy to memorize, repeats. Once you've done it a couple of times and work out why you're doing what you're doing, super easy. I enjoyed it. So I have another finished object. I feel like I'm storming through these, but it's because I finished them so long ago I don't actually have anything to say about them. I finished my everyday slouchy beanie. So this is a pattern by Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarn. Ooh. I finished it and then it warmed up, so I can't actually wear it. I knit I think the largest size. I can't remember. Pretty sure I knit the largest size. It's still a bit snug round, but it's meant to be because it stretches out. Yeah, really fun knit. I finished this really soon after the last podcast actually, but it actually looks alright with my faded hair colour. And goes with my Hufflepuff jumper. Maybe I'll keep it on. So the yarns that I used were chromatic yarns on my tweed, I won't, tweed 4-ply, tweedy sock, I can't remember what my bases are called, that's terrible, tweed 4-ply, which is BFL, Donegal tweed, I still don't know how to say that. I mean, Grace has told me, but I've still forgotten. And nylon. And yeah, this is in my tabaxi colour. I have held it double with a skein of mohair by Wriggle Fingers, and this is in the colour Imp, which is a really nice golden colour. And yeah, they go really well together, and I wasn't sure if I would wear a hat this colour, but having just had it on then, I will, because it actually suits me. I tend to go for more cool toned things like grey and purples and grey, as you will notice, but this actually is nice and it's different. So you knit the brim on tiny needles, aka the needles that I use for socks most of the time, so 2.25mm needles, and my provisional cast on went well. I managed to join it up, no problem. I can't remember what I spoke about last week, and if you're anything like me, you don't know what I spoke about either, so I don't even know. I should check if I had finished this. I'm pretty sure I hadn't finished this last time. I'm just gonna go check out my last thumbnail on my video, and then we'll find out if I've just wasted time. Oh no, I hadn't finished it. Sweet. Yeah, it's when the weather was nice and not cold and dreary. Yeah, and then you switch to a larger needle, and then this bit just was like, whoom, zoomed through. This was a slog. This bit is doubled. It's a double brim to keep your ears nice and toasty. So that bit was a slog, but the next bit, whoo, speeding through. But I think I want to knit another one of these out of this yarn that I bought, and I'm not going to talk about who it's from because I don't support them. But I bought it before I knew. But this yarn, which is just like a black, I believe, it's recycled natural fibre yarn with possum, so that will be super warm. And I have some Kid Silk mohair. Just make a grey one, which I think will be cool. So I might cast that on soon. And yes. This is the Hamster Knit. So yeah, that's all my finished objects. I also knit a tiny pair of baby socks that I sent off to my cousin who recently had a baby. There's lots of babies happening in my life right now, which is very exciting. None of them are mine. Okay, so new cast-ons. I have plenty. Living in my donut bag, which is from the Little Grey Girl. I also have a Jester from Critical Role pin by Secret Cat Shop, which is really cute. I love it. I thought it went well. Jester on a donut bag, very fitting. Also, I found this tape measure keyring, which I attached to the back. So, I cast this on ages ago and I haven't touched it in a little bit because I've been a bit obsessed with knitting something else. Plus I had the blanket to finish because I was gifting it. I had like a week when I was going to be gifting it and I hadn't finished it, so I was like, oh god. So that took priority. Blanket took priority. But this is oh god, I forgot, this is awful. I have a degree in French and I've forgotten how to do a French accent when I say a French word, and it kind of automatically goes German. But this is a pattern by Becky Sorensen. It is the Telegram. Oh, it's such a German R, I can't stop. Telegram cardigan, which I literally have 2 rows to go before I split for the sleeves, and then I have a super exciting cable to do, which I'm looking forward to. This was meant to be my Rhinebeck cardigan, and Rhinebeck has been cancelled because of the pandemic, so really wish I'd got travel insurance on that flight, because by the time I went to look for travel insurance, no companies were giving out travel insurance anymore, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a refund on my flight. Fun times. Anyway, Yeah, this was meant to be my Rhinebeck cardigan, but at the same time, I'm going to be able to wear it loads because it's grey. This cardigan is really cool. It's a broken rib raglan cardigan. It's in 10 sizes, which is incredible because like each size has different maths, and then each section, each size has its own little bit describing what the maths is. And Becky's really good at inclusive patterns. That's all I'm gonna say. She's so good. But yeah, Soprano Knits, for those who don't know, is my BFF and I love her so much. And I have to talk about her in every podcast, and I will for a while now because I'm knitting one of her patterns. Yeah, it's grey. Of course it's grey. Everything's grey. I went through a phase when this was a whip, this was a whip, and the blanket was a whip, and I was like, dear God, everything is grey. But yeah. So I think I've finished the sleeves. Like I say, I've got 2 rows to do, then I've got the sleeve separation, and then I can start the body. I've just been a bit obsessed with knitting something else. The stitch marker I have on here is actually by one of my other BFFs, Anna, she's in loads of my live stream chats. Anna Janissus. She's Swedish, and I can't speak Swedish, so Anna, if I butchered your surname, I'm sorry, I love you. But she made me this necklace ages ago when she was big into polymer clay, and it was a necklace, and I found it the other day, and I thought, I don't wear this as a necklace anymore, and I did, but I don't anymore. I don't want to get rid of it, what can I do? And I thought, make it into a stitch marker. It's a little teacup with a little lemon in it. Super cute. So yeah, I thought if I can combine us in projects, I'm going to. So it's got 2 of my besties in it, and it's my yarn. So we're kind of experimenting with this yarn. It is a non-superwash yarn, because I thought if I'm going to be knitting one of Becky's patterns, I may as well stick to her ethics of non-superwash yarn. It's a Peruvian Highland, I think. I may have misremembered. It was a while ago. I have the bag just over there. But I was basically seeing if I could dye non-superwash, and nothing awful happened. So I guess I can dye non-superwash. It is a thing that I'm able to do. At least, I mean, it took a few attempts to get colours that were vaguely similar to each other, but that's fine. I'm alternating skeins, as all clever people should, because my dyeing isn't even. But yes, I'm really enjoying the texture of this, and I think it's going to be really wearable with a lot of stuff, be it t-shirts or dresses or whatever. I feel like it's going to be I don't know what to wear, quick, grab a cardie, fling it on, because I've wanted a few of those recently and haven't had one. Or I've got like black cardigans over a black dress, which is fine, but also just very black. You know, I'm not the amazing gothic queen that I like to think I am. But grey kind of should work, hopefully. So technically this is my moonbeam colour, with a few more spoonfuls of silver dye on because I couldn't make it even. Oh, I got a text. But yes, the telegram cardigan, really fun, really intuitive once you get into the broken seed stitch. It took me a little bit to like get my head around which one's knit and which one's purl, blah blah blah. But that could also just be me. I haven't done an awful lot of broken rib before, and it's fab because all the increases and such are on the knit rows, so you don't have to do raglan increases when you purl and whatnot. And yeah, I might work on this a bit this afternoon, this evening. What time is it? It's already the afternoon. This evening perhaps, we shall see. Because like I said, I have got another project that's taken my heart. But it's always when I come on a podcast and I talk about the things that I'm knitting and I'm like, oh god, I really enjoy, I need to move my stitch marker up. I really enjoy knitting this. I need to get back on it. But yeah, I have moved it up. So this is where I was. So you'll be able to see next podcast when I make progress. Yeah, it became a little bit of a slog because the rows were just so long, but like, that's not an issue. Oh no, my stitches have come off the needle. Farts. But yeah. Beep. So next, living in my Down Sheepy Lane tea bag, I popped on my Caduceus clay pin, also by the same secret cat shop, because it's tea themed, seemed appropriate. And in here is living a cute sock, because why not? So this, oh gosh, I've got in a tangle. Does that work? Yes. So this is just a plain vanilla sock. I am using Yarn Badger yarn on her yak base, which is 60% superwash merino, 20% yak, 20% silk. It's in the colourway Winter Rainbow. Ooh. Super nice. And because it's yak, it's kind of greyish, which makes it nice, dark and moody. But yeah, I really like how this is knitting up. And it felt a bit weird knitting it while the sun was out, but it would feel really appropriate knitting it now the sun is gone forever. But yeah, I've got one of my little stitch markers on. And yeah, I'm just going to be doing an afterthought heel on the sock. I bought myself another pair of sock needles because I was using sock needles that had like super long cable, and when I was knitting baby socks I was thinking, if I have to like switch the cable so long each time, it's gonna drive me up the wall. And then I just knit these onto it, and so I'm using 2.25mm needles. I think I did 18, maybe 18 rows of rib at the top. I just wanted to get to the end of the stripe before I started to knit. And yeah, really nice, enjoyable, plain knitting for when I need it. We've been looking around quite a few houses lately because we want to move house. So we've been looking around quite a few houses lately, so I've been taking this with me in the car as like car knitting when we're going and driving to the houses. So literally the only time I leave the house is to go look around other houses. It's a bit sad. House shopping in a pandemic is not fun, but at the same time I don't want to live next to this building works for another 6 months because I've already lived next to it since before Christmas. But yeah, I've popped one of my little stitch markers on. It's one of my slow stitch markers. This is actually one of the first ones that I made. So the finding is a bit tarnished, but it's just kind of gone gold, so it kind of goes. I thought this little guy went well and he was super cute. Yeah, these stitch markers are super lightweight. I really like them. Handmade from tiny glass beads that I sew together one by one. You know this feel. But yeah, so I'm just gonna knit. I might use the other sock needles that I have to pick up where I want the heel to go, because that way they will fit perfectly, because I've never actually managed to get a pair of afterthought heel socks to fit perfectly. They're always a bit big or a bit small. So I thought if I knit the heel in, then I can try them on as I go for when I get to the point of heel decreases, so maybe I'll do that. But this size bag is spot on for socks. Thank you, Deb. Very nice. Down Sheepy Lane. She has lovely yarn and lovely bags. So the next two things that I'm showing you are actually crochet and vaguely related to each other. Yeah, while Mario was off, I actually was starting to go to bed before him, which is weird. He is a baker, therefore he goes to bed before I've even thought about it's nighttime. But when I was going to bed before him, I was going to bed and I was like either listening to an audiobook or listening to a podcast, and I'd just do some, or I'd read a book and like do some crochet as I went. And yeah, so this was like my bed knitting crochet project. I bought this yarn at Buxton Wool Gathering last year, obviously not this year. Everything is cancelled. All my shows for the year are cancelled. So sad. We'll talk about that later. but it's by Sable Yarns, and it is a gradient cake, and it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and sock weight. And it's called Kapow Cock, like peacock, but kapow. Feels weird to say it. Hey YouTube, please don't demonetize this video just because I've said kapow cock. Yeah, because it's kind of fun, peacocky colours, but neon. So I had originally bought this with the pattern that I saw them have it on in. They had crocheted a shawl. It was called the Timeless Shawl, I believe. And out of this yarn I saw it and I was like, yes, I kind of want that shawl. So I bought the yarn and I started to crochet it, I think 4 or 5 times, and I just couldn't get my head around it. I haven't done an awful lot of crochet with just charts before, and I can't remember if it was just charts. I couldn't make it work anyway, regardless of what was going wrong with it. I can't remember. I couldn't make it work. So I'd taken it out and I sat this somewhere and was like, maybe I should just de-stash it. And then I thought, no, because I've now made 3 granny triangle shawls, and I've made 2, sorry. And I've worn them both a lot. They're a really easy way to brighten up a predominantly black wardrobe. So I thought I'll make another one. So I'm making another one. This is technically the Spring Fling shawl. Once again, notes have been in the Ravelry group because I can't remember who it's by. But yeah, this was originally the Spring Fling shawl. I don't know if I'll do the picot edge. Maybe I won't. But it's going really nicely. I am using a 6mm hook. That's hefty. With 4-ply yarn. So it's growing pretty quickly. My cute little D20 stitch marker is by Shani May. I asked her how to pronounce her name. She is Welsh. I asked her how to pronounce her name ages ago, and I've forgotten. Okay, her name is Shawned. But yeah, her business name is Shawnee May. I don't have any Welsh people in my family. I can't speak Welsh. I'm really sorry. It's a beautifully weird language, but we got there. Shawnee May. Shawned. Anyway, yes, it's her stitch marker. It's a beautiful, sparkly D20, and I love it. It's really cool. Oh, this new ring. Oh, I bought myself a new ring. One of my friends started up a jewelry business during the pandemic, because why not? You have the time. And I saw this and I had to get it. It's blue goldstone, which is super sparkly, but you can't see it. You won't be able to see it because lighting is not in my favour. But she does all sorts of different rings with stones, and they're really well made and I really like it. The herringbone ring underneath isn't hers. That is by Make and Fable, another one of my friends, Emma. But the one that I was talking about is by Charlotte Lilo Jewelry. And yeah, I used to work with her. She's a really nice person. And yeah, she's got all sorts of different jewelry, earrings, rings, blah. Once again, link in the show notes if you like it. I've started to wear lots of rings, which is funny. But yeah, so this, this is just kind of like bed crochet, something to do on like a Sunday morning, blah blah blah. But because it's in a cake, it's all crinkly because I'm imagining it's dyed in a sock blank and then caked up. It's a bit crinkly, so it will straighten out nicely once it is blocked. I'm now slightly concerned it's going to be massive because I'm using a huge hook, but we'll see. If it is, it is, and that'll be fine. But yeah, just a nice bit of mindless crochet there. And the other thing that I've started to crochet literally like 2 days ago. Oh, this is living in the project bag that Becky made for me with cat sushi. This was when we left Frankfurt. Or did she gift it to send it since? She may have sent it since. Because she came around for sushi when we lived in Frankfurt opposite each other, and I used to feed her cats and look after her cats when she went away. It was cute. So yeah, cat sushi bag. I thought the bright colours went well with the bright colours. So my final whip is another crochet whip, and this is living in my Emerald Fibres bag, and unfortunately she's not selling bags anymore, which makes me really sad because I kind of want a D20 project bag, but maybe I'll message her and see. I bought this at Woollin 2 years ago, and I have another one as well, and I just really like them. They're super sturdy and just really nice. Oh well. I have started what's this? Get out. I've started a granny square blanket. It looks like a tiny accordion. Yeah, I've started a granny square blanket. I think it was, yeah, it must have been. Tracy of Nora George shared a blanket that she'd recently finished, and I don't think it was necessarily a scrappy blanket, but and I think it was DK. But I just looked at it and I thought, yeah, I actually want to make a granny square blanket. Because I have my Cozy Memories blanket, but my god, each square on that takes over an hour to knit, and they're like this big, like the smallest things in the world. So a granny square blanket, which uses the same weight of yarn but is bigger, just made more sense to me. I am going to be joining these together as I go. I need to cake up some, I think I'm just going to use some undyed yarn that I have. I dye yarn, of course I have undyed yarn, but and then join it together with like a cream outline. I've just been using 4-ply scraps and a 3mm hook, and just basic granny squares. So yeah, beehive yarns, tits out colourway. It's the first ever skein of yarn that I bought from EYF that got knit into a baby jumper for one of my friends. One of the first skeins that I ever dyed that got turned to a pair of socks for Mario. I bought this from Woollin when I went, along with the bag. It's from Grace. Pair of socks I knit for Mario out of my own dyed yarn. You know, like, it's just nice to have a memory. I bought this at Nottingham Yarn Expo, the first one that I went to, Nora George's yarn. Yeah. Knit my friend a hat out of that. This was my souvenir yarn from Sweden. It was a sock blank. It's just fun. Another one of my scraps that's my own dyed yarn. This was a hedgehog fibres that I've got in a shawl. I don't know. It's just nice. But yeah, I need to work out some kind of order to put them in. And then start joining them all together, because yeah, so I'm just kind of mixing fibres, mixing blends. They're all 4-ply though. We've even got a sparkle one thrown in there. Oh yeah, this is what Tabaxi looks like without the fluff. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. This is from the collaboration that Becky, Gabby and I did on one of the After the Rain socks. This was the yarn. Super cool. This was a skein of Wool & Vine yarn that Kristen gifted to me. It's the last unicorn. I've got it in so many different things. And yeah, it's just, this one I've just finished. I'm just really enjoying like the quick satisfaction of a granny square. They're mindless, they're easy to do, I don't have to think about them too much, and it's like, oh, I finished one. Yeah. And like, I have ends to weave in, sure, but I might be able to crochet some in. Maybe not. But yeah, I might look into, I mean, I have a full video on Join As You Go, so I know how to do it. But I'll either do it that way, or crochet around the edge and then sew them together, maybe. I don't know. Join As You Go seems to make more sense in my head though. But I just thought it would be nice. A nice little, something different than the Cozy Memories blanket that I have been working on. And I thought I didn't have any minis or enough minis, so I ordered Giddy Yarns minis, like the minis that she sent along. which is a cowl prize for the KNITCRATE cowl, which is still happening. I need to find an end date for it because it's just kind of going on and on and on, and I think nobody knows if it's happening or it's not. It is happening. I have like some prize yarn here, but yeah, I ordered a set of her nostalgia mini skeins to go in it, and then I had a look in my cozy memories blanket project bags because I was keeping scraps in one and the blanket in another. It's like, oh, I actually have quite a few mini skeins. So then I got like a box of scraps down here that I need to like maybe wind off into mini skeins and do like scrappy sets. I don't know, but yeah, I've been really enjoying having just like this to work on of an evening and just getting on with it. It might be less fun when I have to join them together, but I'm just really enjoying everything. Life, what's been happening? Oh, shop news. I had a shop update at the end of, or last week, Saturday. Thank you all so much. It was for the wool Monty that got cancelled. So we had Monty at home. So all of the stock that I had prepared for the wool Monty went in the shop, which included a plethora of stitch markers and a ton of yarn. And thank you all so much who purchased. 3 days of packaging was definitely worthwhile, and yeah, they should all be in the post and getting out to you, and that's super cool. My next shop update is actually going to be for the virtual Yorkshire Yarn Fest, which is in mid-July. I think it's the 13th. Oh, I don't know, because the 13th isn't a weekend. Might be the 11th and 12th. Might be the 18th and 19th. I can't remember. It's in July. So if there's anything particular that you want to see in the shop, let me know. Any particular kind of stitch markers you want to see, any particular colorways you want to see, all that good stuff. I think I might start bringing in some Halloween stitch markers, maybe. And yes. Also, advent calendars sold out, so I have the next round of advent calendars going up at the end of July. So it's 29th. I can't remember what I said. Maybe 31st of July. I should be way more organised. It's towards the end of July. I think it's the 31st of July at 7 PM BST, to make it more fair on US folks. Also, US folks, I have a bit of bad news for you. So, USPS are adjusting their prices for some reason. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't pay full attention to your governmental policies. But the USPS is adjusting prices, so it's going to cost, parcels that I send are basically going to go up in price, is what I'm saying. Postage to the US is going to go up in price, and it's unavoidable, and I'm very sorry. Other people, postage has already gone up. I believe postage has already gone up this year for you. It might change because of the pandemic and everything that's happened, but the US has been particularly affected postage cost wise, so July they're going to go up. To keep it fair on everyone, and because people have already paid for advent calendars, I'm just going to swallow the cost of the extra postage that's going to happen with advent calendars. I'm not going to be charging any more postage for the advent calendars being sold in July, because that is not fair. So yeah, I'm just going to have to swallow that extra postage cost, which is a bit of a bugger, but I didn't plan for this because I thought the prices of postage had already gone up for the year. But yeah, super annoying. So you may notice across your favourite UK shops that postage to the US is going to have a bit of a increase in price, and unfortunately it's unavoidable and super frustrating and annoying, but hopefully you still love yarn enough and stitch markers enough to buy from me. Yeah, I think that's it for shop news. Yeah, life stuff. Mario and I have been very well. He had 3 weeks off, and then he's been back at work for I don't know, a month and a bit. I don't know. It's been ages since that podcast. But we're just plodding along and getting on with life. Neither of us have been ill, touch wood. Oh, good job, my stitch markers are right, my sock blockers are right there. They're made of wood. Yes, we're both well. Currently house hunting, like I've said. The rain has been getting me down a little bit. It's just so dark in our house all the time. April went by in a flash. It's like it didn't even exist. I can't tell you a single thing that happened in April. Shops and such are starting to reopen here in the UK. Non-essential shops are starting to reopen, but I don't think I am in any rush to start leaving the house unnecessarily. So I'm just going to be here all the time. Plus now I've got a crap ton of stitch markers to make for Yorkshire Yarn Fest because they all sold. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Right, but we're all well, we're healthy, just plodding along and getting on with life. I say healthy, we're as healthy as we can be, you know. Yeah, so I'm just plodding along, having a good time and trying to prep for my next shop update. Let me know what you've been working on, what you've been up to. It's been a really long time since I've seen you, and I'm not gonna lie, I have missed you all. So hi, let me know what you've been up to, let me know what you've been making. I would love to know. Yeah, I will try and podcast again soon. What date is it today? The 18th. Yeah, I'll try and podcast again soon. I'll try and get some more bits done. Stop crocheting it on that, stop crocheting the blanket and do some other knitting. Yeah. I also need to write another newsletter because I've abandoned that. Any form of schedule that I have is just completely gone out the window and it's super frustrating. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. If you don't enjoy it, give it a thumbs down. Also helps me out. And if you'd like to subscribe, it would mean a lot. I try and podcast frequently, but I'm really bad at it, so I can't make any promises. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Links can all be found in the description box below. And yeah, I think that's everything. I don't know what that voice was. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Stay safe and stay kind to one another. Just be nice. I know you all are, but everyone needs a bit of kindness at the moment. There's too much hate happening and it makes me really sad. That was a lame sign off. Bye.